Okay, so I have muted everyone, and I will unmute Meryl, and possibly I won't be able to start. Okay, fine, let's go. If anything is untoward, tell me Meryl. You can rely on Meryl. And if you're all jealous, tough. Okay, here we go. So tonight, we are going all over the place, and just an acknowledgement, I'll send this link after I finish. Most of the pictures come from this well-known website, which is called jewishgiftplace.com. I really don't know what the website did, but it had lots and lots of pictures. It probably sells menorahs, actually, and it had lots and lots of pictures of menorahs, which was good for what I want to do. Okay, so let me just put this on. Oh, I wanted to just put that on show me, but now it just shows me a blank screen with Rayful. So, okay,
yes,
never mind. Okay, so this is the mitzvah, the commandment from the book of Shemot. You can read it in English, you can read it in Hebrew. And basically Moshe Rabbeinu was told to make a menorah from a pure, it was chiseled out of one piece of gold. And it had a stem, and it had 6 branches, 3 on one side and 3 on the other side. And the menorah, as we know, was used in the Mishkan, and then was used in both of the in the Bet HaMikdash HaRishon and in the Bet HaMikdash HaSheni. Question is, though, what did it look like? And that's been a controversy for a lot of years. And most of the controversy revolves around the following issues, which is what were the shape of the branches, and what did the base of the menorah actually look like? And some also disputes on how many branches there were. Okay, but if we go around Israel, we can see loads and loads of examples of menorahs. They're everywhere, and I'm not talking about the menorahs that are outside our houses, which, as we know, are not actually menorot. They're actually Chanukiot, which have 8 branches and remind us of the miracle of the 8 days of Hanukkah. We're talking here about the menorah of the temple, but we can see it all over Israel, and particularly going back to the Byzantine period, which is the 6th century. This is an example of a mosaic floor which was found in Bet Shan. And here you see two menorot on either side of the Ark of the Covenant, and you can see that the branches here are around, basically, and you can't see very clearly the base. The picture's not that good. Mosaic floors appear they're absolutely everywhere, and in the Byzantine period and in the Roman period, they were used particularly for floors in public buildings such as meeting halls, churches, in synagogues as well, both in Sumerian synagogues or in Jewish synagogues, or even in houses of very rich people. And there's a very good example of a Roman villa in Caesarea, which you can see a beautiful floor there. Okay, let's go on. And this floor you probably haven't seen. I've never seen it myself. It's from a Bet Knesset in Jericho. It's still there, and it's still in good condition. And here you see, again, the round branches of the menorah, the 6 branches. But in this case, what we see, we can clearly see the base, and you see the base is a 3-pronged base. Okay, the stones, by the way, in mosaic floors are not colored. They're actually colored stones, and they're in a typical mosaic. There can be millions and millions of stones. It's unbelievable, work. Okay, this is a menorah. It's actually a menorah. It's not a mosaic floor. It was a menorah that was found in Hamat Tiberia, which is just outside Tiberia on the Sea of Galilee. It also comes from the 6th century. It's made out of stone, and most of the examples that we have are actually commemorate the picture of the menorah. It's actually strange here that we have a menorah with 6 branches, which is located in a different location apart from the Bet HaMikdash. I'm not actually sure what it was used for. But maybe the community there weren't so religious. We see a lot of times in the mosaic floors, there weren't just motifs of the Bet HaMikdash, but there were also motifs, for example, of the signs of the zodiacs and even gods which which are Greek gods. So the cultures kind of got mixed up. Okay, we were in Pekin. I'm sure you all remember this. We were in Pekin when we talked the other day about the Druze. Pekin was for a long time a mixed community, and there were Jews living there. There's still a synagogue there, by the way, that you can visit. And this is a stone tablet that was found in the synagogue in Pekin. Again, you see the 6 branches. Again, somewhat difficult. This is not a floor. This is from a stone tablet. And again, quite difficult to see the base of the menorah. Okay, the next example is from Tzipori. So if we want to know what the menorah looked like in the Bet HaMikdash, we want to go back in time. We want to go towards the time of the Bet HaMikdash. So now we will look at a few examples from the 5th and 6th century. Now looking at examples from the time of the Mishnah. So we're in the beginning of the 3rd century. And here you see again a mosaic floor from Tzipori. You can see the round branches. And again, we see one of the feet is a bit obscured, but it's obviously a 3-pronged base. And here the base, you can see it's actually formed into something that looks like the paw maybe of a lion, which is a motif which was very often symbolized Yehuda, Malchut, or Bet HaMikdash. And here's another example also from the same kind of period, this time not from a synagogue. This is from the catacombs, the burial caves in Bet Sha'arim. And here you see a menorah. Again, we see the round branches. Here it's not a 3, it's a solid base. And I think this is, has been engraved on a sarcophag, which a sarcophag is a big stone coffin that bodies of that time were placed into for the period of at least 1 year, and the sarcophag had the was known as the flesh eater. We'll go on. The next picture, actually, here we have a bit of a divergence, and here you see a menorah which is from the Perush HaMishnayot of the Rambam. And here you can see, in this case, the branches are not actually round, they're straight. I actually have, I gave this lecture last night as well, and somebody promised me that he would look up why the Rambam came to the conclusion that the branches should be straight, but he did. And to this day, Chabadnikim actually use this kind of menorah. So they don't use with the round branches, they use with straight branches. Okay, again, as I mentioned, the further back we go, the closer we get to actually unraveling what the, hold on, why are people chatting to me? Okay, hopefully everything's all right. Okay, never mind. Hold on, chat. What are people saying? Where is Bet Sha'arim? Bet Sha'arim is, it's very near, it's near Tzipori, but it's nearer, oh, Baruch Hashem. It's not far from Yokneam. It's in that area. Okay, so this is actually, okay, was dug up in a Franciscan, in a Christian excavation, which is at Magdala, also on the banks of the Kinneret. It's a massive excavation. They found ancient church there. There's a new church there as well, but they also found a synagogue. And in the synagogue, they found what we would call today as a bimah. The bimah was used to put the Sefer Torah on, and they read there from the Sefer Torah. Of course, maybe even, I mean, Jesus is they associate Jesus also with synagogues as well. There's no contradiction there. But what you see on the edge of the stone, again, you see a menorah with a solid base and the round menorah. So this is very close. Magdala was 1st century. Probably slightly after the destruction of the Bet HaMikdash. But here is the best example, and this was found in the Rova Herodiani, in the Herodian quarter, which is underneath Yeshivat HaKotel in the Old City. And that is where they dug up villas there, and that is actually where the Kohanim of the Second Temple, where they actually lived. And they found a motif on the wall. Some of this is original, some of it is reconstructed, but you can see they found a round menorah, also with not exactly a solid base, but it's more or less a solid base. It's not the three-pronged base. So this is a very good example. If the Kohanim that was serving in the temple, they put a motif on the wall, good chance this is what the menorah in the Bet HaMikdash actually looked like. Okay, and there are earlier examples as well. Coins survive very, very well. I picked one example, and this is an example from the Hashmonaim period. So it's about this is king, and this will probably be about 100 BCE, maybe slightly after that as well. And here you can see these coins that were minted, again with the motifs of the menorah on them. Okay, the Hashmonaim also Kohanim, so they would also know, presumably they would know what was going on in the Bet HaMikdash. Okay, not just the menorah is portrayed in Jewish antiquities, but also in non-Jewish antiquities. Here you see a picture from the 19th century that represents the emancipation. That nice guy, Napoleon Bonaparte, emancipated all French citizens, including the Jews. And the Jews are portrayed by the six-branched menorah. And this is a mosaic floor that was found in Tunisia, again from a Bet HaMikdash, but outside Eretz Israel. And finally, the best example, the most famous example of a menorah. Sorry, I said famous, but it's not famous, of course, it's infamous. The infamous picture of the menorah being carried on the backs of Roman soldiers off to Rome as part of the booty that was ransacked in 70 CE by the Romans when they destroyed the Bet HaMikdash. And 10 years after that happened, 12 years after that happened, this triumph arch was built in Rome by Titus's brother Domitian, and with all kinds of motifs on the inside, and the menorah being taken away. And of course, Jews didn't walk under that arch, but what they did do was on the when the state of Israel was declared, and they were looking for a motif to put on the emblem of the state, the motif of the menorah was what they chose. And Dafka, we didn't completely solve what the base of the menorah looked like in the Bet HaMikdash, but they took this menorah not necessarily as the menorah from the Bet HaMikdash, but Dafka, the menorah on the arch of Titus, which represented the destruction of Israel, and we put it on the emblem of the state of Israel to obviously represent the recreation of the Israelite nation. And the motif also symbolizes, reminds us of two psukim, one from Yeshayahu, nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of dawn, and from Zechariah as well, where he describes seeing a menorah flanked by two olive trees, which were also incorporated into the motif of the state of Israel. One more menorah to show you. And this is a famous, I like British history. I like Britain, I like West Ham, and well, not so much anymore, but I like British history. So this menorah has an interesting history. This is the menorah which is located opposite the Knesset. It was given by both houses of Parliament. So after the state of Israel was destroyed, their parliamentarians, both in the House of Commons and in the House of Lords, thought that the British government should give a gift to or representatives of the British government should give a gift to the state of Israel. The chairman, the Menorah Committee was set up. The chairman was Viscount Samuel, not Herbert Samuel, who was the first High Commissioner to Palestine during the Mandate, but it was his son, Edwin Samuel. The chairman was the Right Honourable Clement Davis, who was the leader of the Liberal Party. And in 1949, they commissioned this gentleman, Benno Elkan, who was a renowned sculptor, to make this bronze or brass, I think it's bronze menorah, which would be given as a gift to the state of Israel. And Elkan started working despite the fact that there wasn't enough money in the kitty to actually pay him. Several years later, there was still not enough money to pay him, but he carried on working. By the way, Elkan was, he was originally born in Germany He got out of Germany before the war broke out, and he lived during the war. He lived in London. Finally, those good old Lord Rothschild, he'll always chip in when money is scarce. He chipped in, and Marks and Spencer's chipped in as well. So by about 1955, the money had been raised, Elkan had been paid, and the menorah had been made. And the Menorah Committee announced to Ben Gurion, to the government of Israel, that they wanted to ship the menorah to Israel. Problem. How are those religious Jews going to react? There's two problems, which is menorah. Do we have a Bet HaMikdash? Can we really have this great big menorah? So that was one problem. And the other problem was there's all kinds of graven images, not really graven images, but they're images of Avram, Yitzchak, all kinds of Bible scenes. I'll show you this to you in a moment. Okay, here you can't really see them, I don't think, too well. On the left is the images from the Warsaw Ghetto. On the right represents images which represented the creation of the State of Israel. And Ben Gurion decided he took a very sensible move. Instead of the Knesset he decided to kick it over to the chief rabbi, Rabbi Herzog. And Rabbi Herzog decided it's okay. Menorah can come. And on the left-hand side, you see the menorah. You see the menorah at Bet Frumkin, which is in where the Knesset was located on King George, and it's going to be restored into it's being restored now into a museum. Okay, that's the opening ceremony in 1956. And then on the right-hand side, when the Knesset moved to Givat Ram, where it is now, you see the menorah again placed opposite the Knesset, and another ceremony to celebrate the inauguration of the putting of the menorah there. Elkan actually wanted the menorah to go inside the Knesset, but all kinds of reasons why he wanted that, but that was too much, and the menorah stands to this day opposite the Knesset. That's it, and I will unmute you all.
Very interesting, thank you.
Very good.
Okay, if there are no comments, tomorrow, surprise, surprise, I will be on air, but I think I was thinking of going on air at 6:15, bearing in mind that we have B'dikat Chametz, and I don't know what we're eating after that, but I thought I would go on air earlier. So, and I promise you, tomorrow is going to be meratek, not to be missed. So 6:15 tomorrow, I will send that out. If anybody has overwhelming objections, why not 6:15? Oh, hold on, I'm going to mute all. Lots of screeching noises in the background. If anyone has overwhelming reasons why not 6:15 and that you all want another time, okay, fine, I'll do it another time. And if anyone can tell me why the Rambam had that straight menorah, I don't know, and I would be very grateful. So thank you very much. That's it for tonight. Have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. Night, night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.